We may finally start to see the end of this chip shortage. We might finally start to see NIO and all these other auto manufacturers and even the EVs start to turn around and go positive for the first time in a very, very, very long time. It has been a long time. Finally, NIO is starting to push above 40. We saw it yesterday, up above 40. Hopefully, end of the day, by the time you guys see this, we're going to be a day behind. So hopefully, by the time you guys see this, it ends positive, and that is above $41 where we're at right now. But before we hop into this video, we ask you guys to hit that sub button. It's the best way to support the channel, and it's the best way to stay up to date on all things NIO and all things stock market related news. But without further ado, man, let's give it some razzle-dazzle and hop into it. So the chip shortage is supposed to be coming to an end. I don't want to say it's going to be coming to an end. I think this is going to drag on a little bit farther throughout the rest of this year, but we're going to be getting some help because the chip plant in Japan that caught fire back in March of this year is finally going to be coming back online 100% full capacity here about mid-June, which I think is great news, for the auto industry. But the chip shortage is being the biggest problem of all of the auto manufacturers right now. This should hopefully help, because they hold so much. They hold so much of a percentage of the chips that go out in the world. But since that chip shortage back in March, that's when the plant happened to catch fire. We've seen massive pullbacks all the way from March until now, and I think things are starting to finally let up. But they said that when they looked through the plant the first time, that the fire was it was a lot worse than they expected, which is the reason the plant's been down for quite some time. But yeah, so hopefully things start to pick back up once this gets back online here in mid-March. They're just waiting for the last piece of equipment to go in, and they're going to start pumping and dumping these things, man. So I know Tesla's been trying to get a lot of these chips as well, and they're even considering using like early payments or even buying some of these factories to get these chips. I'm like, that's a Tesla move right there. That is a Tesla move. Oh, let me buy this factory so that way nobody else gets these chips, but I do. Like that's a Tesla move.
By the end of May, they had returned to about 88% of its pre-fire capacity, which to me is pretty impressive because it was a pretty big fire, and to get back up to 88% capacity in only a couple months, they must have been hustling over there to get this sucker going. But they hold nearly 1/3 of the global market share for automotive microchips, and that's what you were saying earlier. That's 1/3 coming out of one factory. That's massive. Insane. Yeah. So as you know, pretty much all manufacturers were hit by this really hard. Like Ford, GM, Hyundai, and Kia, they were all forced to shut down production for days and if not weeks. I know GM, I believe it was GM, they were shut down for like 3 weeks, and then they actually had to extend that for a couple of their plants. So that's pretty rough. But NIO had temporarily suspended production for 5 working days. As you know, at the end of, I believe it was the end of April into May was when that was.
Yeah, with NIO only shutting down for 5 days, I think that's fantastic compared to some of these other big competitors having to shut down for weeks on end. You only had to shut down for 5 days. And
they worked overtime. They worked overtime before that, so
it affected production numbers, but it wasn't like anything drastic. But then again, they're not putting out the numbers that like Ford is putting out right now. But still, the fact that you only had to shut down for 5 working days to me seems fantastic, and I think I think this is definitely going to help, considering you're going to get that third back, the third of chips going back into the market. It's still going to take some time for the whole market to recover and to finally get over the whole chip shortage, but I think the chip shortage problem as a whole will finally start to heal towards the end of this year, and I think our numbers are going to start to climb on NIO, on XPeng, Li, all Tesla, all of your automobiles. I think all of these are going to finally start to climb back up to normal numbers, and that's when we're going to see Tesla or NIO blast off. And I think we're going to see NIO go to new highs once this starts to push off. But that's going to wrap up this quick NIO update. We just wanted to bring this to you guys to a little updated information on the whole chip shortage issue. And basically, we think this is going to be a good thing for NIO here in the next coming months. So to stay up to date on all things NIO, hit that sub button. It's the best way to support the channel, and it's the best way to stay up to date on all things NIO. Thank you guys again for all your support, and we'll see you guys in the next video.